You've been knocked down, more than once. More than most people around you know about, actually, because you don't talk about all of it. You carry most of it quietly. And every single time, something in you got back up. And the people watching can't quite explain it. They don't have a category for it. Because by their math, by their understanding of how setbacks work and what they should do to a person, you should have stayed down by now. You should have given up. You should have accepted the verdict that the hard seasons were delivering. But you didn't, and you don't fully know why either, do you? Not always. Sometimes you got back up before you even consciously decided to. Something just moved in you. Something just refused. And I want to talk about that today, because I think understanding what that thing is, really understanding it, changes how you carry it going forward. Let me start with the setback itself, because I think we rush past it too quickly in these kinds of conversations, like the setback is just a plot device on the way to the comeback story. And I don't want to do that. I want to actually sit in what a setback feels like. Because if I'm going to talk honestly about rising after one, I need to honor what it actually costs to be in one first. A real setback doesn't just inconvenience you. It doesn't just delay your plans. A real setback reaches into the part of you that believed something, believed in a direction, believed in a person, believed in a version of the future you were working toward. And it shakes that belief, sometimes violently. It makes you question things you thought were settled. It makes you re-examine decisions you were confident about. It makes you wonder whether the thing you were building was ever as real as you thought it was. And that is a deeply uncomfortable place to sit, because it's not just external. It's not just the circumstances that changed. It's the internal story that gets disrupted, the sense of direction that gets blurred, the confidence that gets cracked. And a lot of people, when the internal story gets disrupted badly enough, never fully rebuild it. They patch it, they manage it, but they never fully restore the belief that was there before. And from that point on, they move through life with a kind of protective guardedness, never quite investing fully in anything again, never quite letting themselves believe all the way, because the last time they believed all the way something happened and it cost them. I think a lot of you know exactly what I'm describing, because you've been there. Some of you are there right now. So why do you keep getting back up? What is that thing in you that refuses, even when every logical reason to stop is right there in front of you? Even when the evidence strongly suggests that this might be a good time to just let it go? I've thought about this a lot, and here's where I've landed. It's not willpower. I want to say that clearly, because I think the just be resilient, just be strong narrative does people a disservice. Willpower runs out. Willpower is a resource that gets depleted, and if getting back up after a setback was just a matter of willpower, then the people with the most willpower would be the ones who kept rising. But that's not what I see. What I see is that the people who keep rising often don't feel particularly strong in the moment of getting up. They feel broken, actually. They feel tired, they feel uncertain, they feel all the things that you'd expect someone who just went through something hard to feel. But they get up anyway, not because of strength, because of something underneath strength, something more durable than strength. Something that I would call conviction. A deep, quiet, unshakable, knowing that this is not where the story ends. Not certainty about what comes next. There's often very little certainty. Just a knowing that this moment, as hard as it is not the conclusion. And that knowing, even when it's faint, even when it's barely a whisper underneath all the noise of the hard season, that knowing is what moves you. Before the strength arrives, before the clarity returns, before anything makes sense again. Now let me talk about the people who can't understand it, because they're real, and I think the dynamic matters. There are people in your life, people who care about you, people who have watched you go through your setbacks, and they genuinely cannot compute how you keep getting back up. Not because they don't want to, but because they don't have the internal reference point for it. They've never experienced that thing underneath the strength. They've never felt that quiet, stubborn knowing that refuses to let the story end here. And so from the outside, your resilience looks like either denial or recklessness, like you're not fully grasping the severity of what happened, like you're not taking the setback seriously enough. And sometimes they'll say something. Sometimes well-meaning people in your life will gently suggest that maybe it's time to accept this, move on, let go of the thing you keep reaching back toward. And in the moment, when you're already tired and already questioning, that suggestion can land harder than they intended. Because it sounds reasonable. It sounds like wisdom. It sounds like caring about you. But here's what it actually is, most of the time. It's their ceiling. It's the limit of what they can imagine for you, filtered through the limit of what they've experienced for themselves. And it comes from love, genuine love, in most cases. But it is not vision. It is not prophecy. It is not the final word on what is possible for your life. You get to decide whose voice gets the final word. And I would argue very strongly that it should not be the voice, however well-meaning, of someone who has never felt what you feel when you get back up. I want to say something about the accumulation of setbacks, because I think one of the things that makes continued rising so hard and so meaningful is that setbacks compound. Each one doesn't happen in isolation. Each one happens on top of the ones before it. And so the question isn't just, can you get back up from this one? It's, can you get back up from this one after everything you've already been through? And that is a different question, a harder one, because there's a fatigue that builds, not just physical, spiritual, emotional fatigue. The fatigue of having to believe again, of having to rebuild hope again, of having to re-anchor in something you can't fully see again, after you've already done that multiple times, after you've already gone through the cycle of believing, losing, grieving, rebuilding, multiple times. The getting back up gets harder, not because you're weaker, but because you're more aware of what it costs. And I want to honor that cost. I don't want to skip past it, because sometimes the most honest thing I can say to someone who is in that place, who is facing a setback that has arrived on top of a long history of setbacks, is not, you've got this, get back up. Sometimes the most honest thing is, I know how tired you are. I know what it has cost you to get here. I know that the getting back up is not effortless, and it is not painless, and it is not something that should be minimized. And I think you are braver than you know for even considering doing it again. Here's what I want to leave you with today. The people who can't understand why you keep rising, they're actually giving you important information. Not about your limits, about theirs. Your resilience is literally beyond their frame of reference. It doesn't fit into the model they have for how people work and what people can endure. And that incomprehensibility, the fact that your rising doesn't make sense to them, is not evidence that something is wrong with you. It's evidence that you are operating from a different source, a deeper source, one that they haven't found yet, or maybe never will. And that source, whatever you call it, whatever your language is for it, that is the thing worth protecting, worth staying connected to. Because it is the thing that has gotten you back up every single time before, and it will get you back up again. Not because it's easy, not because you feel ready, but because something in you was built for this, built to absorb the hit and still keep moving, built to grieve the loss and still believe in what's next, built to be knocked down, to stay down long enough to feel the full weight of it, and then, quietly, stubbornly, without making a big announcement about it, get back up. That's you. It has always been you. And no setback, not this one, not the next one, not the accumulation of all of them, changes that.